not your color. Oh, we're live? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Books. My name is Francesca Charles, and today we have a very special visitor. Can everybody give it up for Steve Johnson from the editorial press? Steve, now I've been hearing about this very trending book called The City of Ember. Can you tell us a little bit more about this book and answer some few questions for those of us who are too lazy to read the book?
Sure, I can. What do you got to ask?
Well, my question that I'm dying to hear is, what are the main characters of the book?
Well, there are two main characters. There's Dune Harrow and there's Lena Maidfleet. First, I'm going to start with Dune Harrow. Dune Harrow, he's 12. He has spent his whole life in the City of Ember. He is a 12-year-old boy. He is a pipe laborer. In Ember, he's intelligent and he is great in mechanics. He's also best friends with Lena Maidfleet, who is also 12. She, too, lives in Ember, and she's very loyal, loving, and eager to do things. She's a messenger. In Ember, she is a sister with Poppy, and she's also best friends with Dune. Also, in my opinion, they are both round characters. This is because in the book, at the start, they're kind of shy and kind of kept in, but throughout the book, they learn to persevere and to become more courageous throughout the challenges they have to face throughout the book. Now on to the main antagonist. Mayor Cole is the main antagonist. Mayor Cole steals from the city, he hoards up the rations, and he lies to all the people. He says that everything's okay in the city, when in reality it's not, and he's just trying to save up supplies because a big disaster is soon going to come. And he decides to harm Dune and Lena and stop them from succeeding in their missions throughout the book. And to escape Ember. He is a flat character because he never changes his evil ways throughout the entire book.
I've been hearing about the City of Ember that you keep talking about. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Well, yeah, the book is kind of set in the future. Let me explain for a minute. In this reality, sometime around modern day today, there was a huge disaster, and the best teams of designers and engineers came together to build a grand underground city in order to save humanity from this so-called disaster. This city was built with a big generator, which is pretty much the bloodline of the city. It powers everything. But the generator of the city was only built to last about 200 years, which brings us to the plot. The plot of the book is, when the city was originally built, it came with this locked box that would open in about 200 years and give instructions to the mayor on how to leave. But around 160 years after the creation of the city, the box is lost and forgotten about. So without the box, time goes on, and now we are about 240 years after the creation of the city. This is the time of Dune and Lena. So anyway, around this time, we're starting to have numerous problems, and blackouts are becoming more and more often, and the generator could shut off any day now, killing pretty much everybody in the city. So Dune and Lena have to put it upon themselves to find clues and perhaps to find the exit of the city before time runs out and the generator dies, killing everybody.
Well, I keep hearing generators and all this modern day stuff, and I know I might have missed this, but what year do you think this is set in?
Well, the book doesn't say so for sure, but we know that the city, the set-in is in the City of Ember and in the underground tunnels of it. And for time, I presume that the city was built in the mid to late 21st century and is now set in the early 24th century.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Now, I know personally, I love a summary of a book before I read it. So, what is your summary of this book?
Well, it all begins with Dune and Lena. They are both age 12, and at age 12, in the City of Ember, you basically get assigned a job. Dune gets the job of messenger, but Lena gets the cruel job of pipe works. So, Dune, being a good friend, he lets Lena switch jobs with him. So anyway, while they're at their new jobs, they both learn many new things about the city. Dune being a pipe laborer, he finds that the generator is beginning to die out, and it might fail any day. Now Lena, being a messenger, she basically gets to hear everybody's talk throughout town. She finds that food supplies are beginning to run very low, and that many people are concerned about a possible generator shutdown. Also, Lena finds that her grandmother is super obsessed about finding this so-called box that Lena's grandfather, who's a former mayor of Ember, had lost, and that box would be the answers to everything. Soon after, Lena finds this supposed box, and when she opens it, most of the papers have actually been destroyed by Lena's younger sister, Poppy. Now, this is kind of this is kind of bad for her, but anyway, she and June meet up throughout the entire book, and they give information to each other on how the city's been doing. But just around this time, sadly, Lena's grandmother dies, so her and Poppy have to move with close friend Mrs. Murdo. Now, June and Lena, who have been gathering information on the city and how it's been doing, and around this time, they also discover that the mayor has been hoarding rations and lying to the people. He says that the generator will run forever, but June and Lena know that's not the case. But the mayor is just trying to save his own skin and leave everybody to die. Now, June and Lena try to expose the mayor of this. This enrages the mayor, and he wants to find them, capture them, persecute them, and stop them at all costs from succeeding. So, anyway, June and Lena decide it's time. They have to put it upon themselves and find the way out. So June and Lena with the maps, information, everything that they've learned, they find that the river in Ember, because apparently Ember is an underground cave, so the river is the way out. So it takes them a while. They face lots of challenges, but after using those maps and the information they have, and in a boat, they find their way out. But the thing is, on surface world, it doesn't appear that a big disaster had happened. Everything's fine. There's trees, plants, animals. They even get to see the sunrise, the first people to do so in hundreds and hundreds of years. But also while up there, they also discover a page in the box. It explains that the City of Ember was humanity's last-ditch attempt to save humanity, but everything seems fine up there. But also up there, June and Lena find a hole leading back to Ember. So what they do is that they drop the instructions back down, and they're found by Miss Murdo. But that's where it cuts off, leaving you on a great cliffhanger. But there are also multiple books in this series, so if you want to find out what happens next, you're gonna have to read those.
But what? Oh, yeah, that's an amazing summary. You summed the entire book, and I do mean the entire book. Now, for our more analytical people in the audience, what do you think the theme of the book is?
Well, I believe that the theme of this book is to stand up in times of trouble, even though no one else does. This is because in the book, nobody decides to deal with the problems of the city shutdown, the generator dying, and trying to escape. But June and Lena, being just 12 years old, they decide to put it upon themselves and rise up and save humanity, even though no one else would.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Now, I personally think this is a great book, and I'm really interested. But what do you personally think about it?
Well, I thought this book was a real page-turner. It had tons of action and mysteries that had to be uncovered. The author included lots of imagery, which I personally enjoyed, and it enhances the reader's experience a lot. And I would definitely recommend this book to you if you would like a good fantasy book with lots of mystery and action.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us here on our show. And everybody give it up for Steve.
Gosh.
Oh.